Hello everyone, this is Yamini Seni and we are doing class 9 subject science chapter number 3 atoms and molecules. So in the previous class we had done with the laws of chemical combination. We had discussed law of conservation of mass and today we have to start it from law of constant proportion. So let us start with it. So Lavoisier, along with other scientists, noted that many compounds were composed of two or more elements, and each such compound had the same element in the same proportions, irrespective of where the compound came from or who prepared it. So in a compound such as water, like we all know that जो water है उसका क्या chemical formula है, that is H2O, and we all know that this 2 denotes two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen in this formula of water. So the same thing we can see here also. So in a compound such as water, the ratio of the mass of hydrogen of the mass of oxygen is always 1:8, whatever the source of water. Thus if 9 gram of water is decomposed, so 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 gram of oxygen are always obtained. So why we are taking it in the ratio of 1 and 8? Like we all know that hydrogen has uh, one electron in its outermost orbit and oxygen has 8 molecule or electrons in its outermost orbit. So that is why we are taking it in the ratio of 1:8. Okay. So um, no matter how much we took the amount of water, but in the end we will have this kind of composition only, like the hydrogen will be 1 and oxygen will be in 8 ratio, right? So 1:8. Similarly, in ammonia, nitrogen, and hydrogen are always present in the ratio 14:3 by mass, whatever the method or the source from which it is obtained. So similarly, ammonia में क्या होता है कि नाइट्रोजन और हाइड्रोजन की रेशियो होती है. So what is it? 14:3. Okay. Like we all know that formula of ammonia is NH3, right? So this will be its ratio, 14:3. And we will learn more like how these ratio are calculated in this chapter only, okay, later on. So now this led to the law of constant proportion, which is also known as the law of definite proportion. So if I ask you what is law of constant proportion, or if I ask you law of definite proportion, both means same. Okay. So this law states that stated by Proust as in a chemical substance the elements are always present in definite proportion by mass. Mark these words, these are important. Now, the next problem faced by scientists was to give appropriate explanations of these laws. So, British chemist John Dalton provided the basic theory about the nature of matter. And what was that basic theory which was given by Dalton? So Dalton picked up the idea of divisibility of matter. Like it is the same thing which Indian philosophers did, which we had read about in previous class. So he took which was still then just a philosophy. So he took the name atoms as given by the Greeks and said that the smallest particle of matter are atoms. His theory was based on the law of chemical composition or chemical combination. Dalton's atomic theory provided an explanation for the law of conservation of mass and the law of definite proportion. So who is or who was John Dalton? We can see from here, like he was born in a poor weaver family in 1766 in England, and he began his career as a teacher at the age of 12. So 7 years later, he became a school principal, and in 1793, Dalton left for Manchester to teach mathematics, physics, and chemistry in a college. So he spent most of his life there and teaching and researching. And in 1808, he presented his atomic theory, which was a turning point in the study of matter, which we are reading right now. So, according to Dalton atomic theory, all matter, whether an element, compound, or a mixture, is composed of small particles called atoms, which we already know. And what were the postulates given by him for his theory? Those were, there were 6 of them. So for number 1 is all matter is made up of very tiny particles called atoms. Second one, atoms are indivisible particle which cannot be created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Then number 3 is atoms of a given element are identical in mass and chemical properties. Number 4, atoms of different elements have different masses and chemical properties. Now what does it mean? It means, look at the third and the fourth point. Third point means atoms of a given element are identical. Identical का मतलब क्या होता है? सेम होना. ठीक है, तो जो भी एलिमेंट है किसी भी एक एटम के अंदर, दैट विल बी, या किसी भी एलिमेंट के अंदर जो भी एटम्स हैं वो सेम होंगे. लाइक अगर हम हाइड्रोजन की बात करें तो हाइड्रोजन के अंदर जितने भी एटम है वो सारे सेम होंगे और सेम केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी वो शो करेंगे. एटम्स ऑफ डिफरेंट एलिमेंट हैव डिफरेंट मासेस एंड केमिकल कॉम्पोजिशन. अगर हम हाइड्रोजन के साथ ऑक्सीजन को भी काउंट करें या उसमें भी हम कंपेयर करें तो इन हाइड्रोजन के अंदर जितने भी एटम्स होंगे वो हाइड्रोजन जैसे होंगे और ऑक्सीजन वाले जितने भी एटम्स होंगे वो ऑक्सीजन की केमिकल प्रॉपर्टी और जो मास है सारी चीज़ें वो केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज़ ऑक्सीजन की शो करेंगे. बट हाइड्रोजन का एलिमेंट और हाइड्रोजन का एटम और उसकी जो केमिकल प्रॉपर्टीज़ होगी वो डिफरेंट होगी एज़ कम्पेयर टू द ऑक्सीजन के एटम से, राइट. So this is what point number 3 and point number 4 is saying to us. So now number 5 is atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. Number 6 is the relative number and kinds of atoms are constant in a given compound. Constant रहते हैं as we can see in the case of ammonia and in the case of water also. So you will study in the next chapter that all atoms are made up of still smaller particles. So we will read about it in the next chapter. So for right now, let us see these questions and what does these questions say. Question number 1 is, in a reaction 5.3 gram of sodium carbonate reacted with 6 gram of ethanoic acid. The products were 2.2 gram of carbon dioxide, 0.9 gram of water and 8.2 gram of sodium ethanoate. Show that these observations are in agreement with the law of conservation of mass. So look, what you have to do is you have to write it down like this: sodium carbonate plus ethanoic acid. Similarly, you have to write down all these composition or all this amount of weight under this. Like sodium carbonate आपने लिखा और फिर उसके बाद लाइक इफ़ यू राइट सोडियम कार्बोनेट और इसके नीचे जो है आप उसका अमाउंट लिख देंगे, लाइक जो आपको गिवन है 5.3. एंड सिमिलरली आप बाकी सारी जो चीज़ें लिखी हैं उनके आगे भी लिखेंगे. एंड इन द एंड व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू sum all the reactants and sum all the products, and then you are able to see that the weight is same. The weight is identical in both the cases, okay, at the side of reactant also and at the side of product also. Now question number 2 is, hydrogen and oxygen combine in ratio of 1:8 by mass to form water. What mass of oxygen gas would be required to react completely with 3 gram of hydrogen gas? सो नाउ लिख, अगर 1 हाइड्रोजन के साथ 8 ऑक्सीजन हमें चाहिए तो 3 हाइड्रोजन के साथ कितनी हमें चाहिए होगी? दिस यू कैन डू, दिस इज सिंपल मैथमेटिक्स, ओके. And let us come to the number 3. Which postulate of Dalton atomic theory is the result of the law of conservation of mass? So we can write all these postulates over here. Number 4 is, which postulate of Dalton atomic theory can explain the law of definite proportion? So for definite proportion, you can include this one and this one also. So this is how you can complete all these questions. So if you found anything doubtful in this, you can just write it down in the comment box, okay. I'll come back to it. So now let us see what is an atom. So have you ever observed a maze in building walls, and from these walls a room and then a collection of room to form a building? What is the building block of the huge building? So what about the building block of an ant hill? It is a small grain of sand. Or similarly, the building blocks of all matter are atoms. So, how big are atoms? Atoms are very small. They are smaller than anything that we can imagine or compare with it. Like, if I write down this point on the screen, then this point contains millions of atoms. So, you can imagine that how small the atom is. So, more than million of atoms, when stacked, would make a layer barely as thick as the sheet of paper. So, atomic radius is measured in nanometers. So, now this one you can learn for future purposes. So 1 upon 10 to the power 9 meter is equal to 1 nanometer. So 1 meter is equal to 10 to the power 9 nanometer. Relative sizes are radii in meter and example. So 10 to the power minus 10 atom of hydrogen, 10 to the power minus 9 molecule of water, 10 to the power minus 8 molecule of hemoglobin, 10 to the power minus 4 grain of sand, and 10 to the power minus 2 ant, and 10 to the power minus 1 is watermelon. So this is how you can see that. Okay, we might think that if atoms are so insignificant in size, why should we care about them, right? अगर वो है ही इतने छोटे तो हमें क्या फ़र्क क्या पड़ता है उनसे. So this is because our entire world is made up of atom. We may not be able to see them, but they are there and constantly affecting whatever we do. So through modern techniques, we can now produce magnified images of surfaces of elements showing atoms. So this is an image of the surface of a silicon. So here we can see the atoms representation or the pattern which they are forming. So what are the modern day symbol of atoms of different element? So modern day symbols of different element seems like this. Hydrogen will be denoted by one dot, then phosphorus will be like this, and copper will be with letter C. But make sure that and pay attention to it that all the symbols are in a circle. Okay, so Dalton was the first scientist to use the symbols for elements in a very specific sense. So when he used a symbol for an element, he also meant a definite quantity of that element, that is one atom of that element. Berzelius suggested that the symbols of element be made from one or two letters of the name of the element. So like a copper से C, lead से L, so silver से S, so like this he. मतलब जो भी उन्होंने सिंबल्स बनाए उसके पीछे उन्होंने कुछ वजह रखी, मेंटेन रखी. ओके, so in the beginning the names of elements were derived from the names of the place where they were found for the first time. So for example, the name copper was taken from Cyprus. Some names were taken from specific color, like for example gold was taken from the English word meaning yellow. And nowadays IUPAC, this is important, IUPAC, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, approves names of elements. Many of the symbols are the first one or two letters of the element's name in English. The first letter of a symbol is always written as a capital letter, uppercase, and the second letter as a small letter, that is the lowercase. So for example, like hydrogen is denoted by H, aluminium is denoted by first letter capital and the second letter is small AL. But ना कि हम इसे ऐसे कैपिटल्स में लिखते हैं, राइट. सो कोबाल्ट में CO, ना कि हम दोनों कैपिटल रखते हैं, राइट. सो दिस इज इट. Symbols of some elements are formed from the first letter of the name and the letter appearing later in the name. या कभी कभी हम ऐसे करते हैं कि जो उसके बाद में भी आता है उससे भी लेते हैं, लाइक इन केस ऑफ क्लोरीन एंड जिंक. ओके, लाइक L जो है वो थर्ड लेटर है, N जो है वो थर्ड लेटर है जिंक. Now symbols, other symbols have been taken from the names of element in Latin, German or Greek. For example, the symbol of iron, iron का जो है that is Fe, taken from Latin name that is ferrum. Sodium is Na from natarium. Potassium is K for kalium. So therefore each element has a name and a unique chemical symbol. So the the above table is given for you to refer to whenever you study about elements. Do not bother to memorize all in one go. With the passage of time and repeated usage, you will automatically be able to reproduce the symbols. Okay, so they are saying that these are the symbols of some elements. You don't need to learn it or memorize it. You will gradually learn it as they will occur. They are going to occur frequently. Okay, so now let us come to the atomic mass, the most remarkable concept that Dalton's atomic theory proposed. That was the atomic mass according to him. So each element had a characteristic atomic mass. The theory could explain the law of constant proportion so well that the scientists were prompted to measure the atomic mass of an atom, since determining the mass of an individual atom or was relatively the mass of an individual atom was relatively a difficult task. So relative atomic masses were determined using the law of chemical combination and the compounds formed. Now what they are saying that let us take an example of a compound like carbon monoxide, so formed by carbon and oxygen. Carbon and oxygen known as carbon monoxide. So it was observed experimentally that the 3 gram of carbon combines with 4 gram of oxygen, okay, to form CO. तो जो कार्बन मोनोक्साइड है उसको बनाने के लिए 3 हमें कार्बन चाहिए होता है 3 ग्राम एंड 4 ग्राम हमें ऑक्सीजन चाहिए होता है. सो इन अदर वर्ड्स वी कैन से कार्बन कंबाइंस 4/3 टाइम्स its mass of oxygen. So suppose we define the atomic mass unit जिसको हम abbreviate कर सकते हैं AMU से. Okay. सो एटॉमिक मास की यूनिट अगर मैं आपसे पूछूँ सो दैट इज़ AMU. उसको पहले एब्रीवेट किया गया था. सो बट अकॉर्डिंग टू द लेटेस्ट IUPAC रिकमेंडेशन इट इज़ नाउ रिटन एज U. और IUPAC के रिकमेंडेशन के अकॉर्डिंग उसे अब सिर्फ U लिखा जाता है एटॉमिक मास की यूनिट को. ओके, सो U का मतलब है यूनिफाइड मास, सो विच इज़ इक्वल टू 1 to the mass of one carbon atom. Then we would assign carbon an atomic mass of 1.0 U and oxygen an atomic mass 1.33 U. So U is the unit of atomic mass. Okay, however it is more convenient to have these numbers as whole numbers or as near to the whole numbers. सो नाउ लेट अस नो मोर अबाउट इट कि लाइक ये जो इन्होंने इसकी वेइंग रखी या जो इन्होंने इनका एटॉमिक मास रखा, हाउ दे डिड दैट. सो as possible whole number as possible while searching for various atomic mass units, scientists initially took 1/16th mass of an atom naturally occurring oxygen as the unit. तो जैसे ऑक्सीजन जो है वो नेचुरली अकरिंग एलिमेंट है हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर में, तो उन्होंने इसको एक ऐसे कंसिडर किया. और इसका भी क्या रीज़न था, दिस वाज कंसिडरिंग रिलेवेंट ड्यू टू 2 रीजन्स. एंड व्हाट वर दे वर ऑक्सीजन रिएक्टेड विद लार्ज नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट एंड फॉर्म कंपाउंड. जो ऑक्सीजन है वो ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ कंपाउंड के साथ रिएक्ट कर सकता था. नंबर 2 इज़ दिस एटॉमिक मास यूनिट गिव masses of the most of the element as a whole numbers. और ये जो यूनिट हमें देता है वो whole numbers में देता है. okay, so that is why we have chosen the oxygen or we have chosen the 1/16th mass of an atom for finding out the atomic mass. okay, so however in 1961 for a universally accepted atomic mass unit जैसे कि कार्बन की जो है वो 12 हुई and isotope was chosen as the standard reference for measuring atomic masses. So one atomic mass unit is the mass unit equal to exactly 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon. okay, अब यहाँ पे हम कार्बन की बात कर रहे हैं, तो कार्बन का 1/12 the mass of the one atom of carbon 12 है. So the relative atomic masses of all elements have been found with respect to an एटम ऑफ कार्बन 12. लाइक इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, जिसको हम एक एग्जांपल के थ्रू समझ सकते हैं कि एक फ्रूट सेलर है विच इज़ सेलिंग फ्रूट्स विदाउट एनी स्टैंडर्ड वेट. उनके पास कोई स्टैंडर्ड वेट नहीं है. सो ही टेक्स अ वाटरमेलन एंड सेज दिस हैज़ अ मास इक्वल टू 12 यूनिट्स. ये जो वाटरमेलन है उसकी 12 यूनिट्स की मास के बराबर है और 12 फ्रूट मास यूनिट्स हैं उसकी. सो ही मेक्स 12 इक्वल पीसेस ऑफ द fruit which he is selling. So relative to the mass of one piece of the watermelon, now he sells his fruits by relative fruit mass unit. तो इस तरह से उसने अपनी fruit mass unit बना ली. So similarly, the relative atomic mass of the atom of an element is defined as the average mass of the atom as compared to 1/12 the mass of the one carbon 12th atom. ठीक है, तो ऐसे ही जो कार्बन का है वो 1/12 लिया उन्होंने. तो ये यहाँ पर इस बॉक्स में आपको एटॉमिक मासेस ऑफ फ्यू एलिमेंट्स दिए गए हैं. जैसे आप देख सकते हो कि हाइड्रोजन का 1 है, कार्बन का 12 है, नाइट्रोजन का 14 है, ऑक्सीजन का 16 है, सोडियम का 23 है, मैग्नीशियम का 24 है, सल्फर का 32 है, क्लोरीन का 35.5 है, कैल्शियम का 40 है. सो दीज आर द एटॉमिक मासेस. एटॉमिक मास और एटॉमिक नंबर जो है या आइसोटॉप और आइसोबार जो है उसके बारे में हम नेक्स्ट चैप्टर में या फिर इसी चैप्टर में आगे जाके और समझेंगे. ओके, सो फॉर नाउ हाउ डू एटम एग्जिस्ट. एटम जो है वो एग्जिस्ट कैसे करते हैं. एटम ऑफ मोस्ट एलिमेंट आर नॉट एबल टू एग्जिस्ट इंडिपेंडेंटली. एटम्स फॉर्म मॉलिक्यूल्स एंड आयंस. these molecules or ions aggregate in large number to form the matter that we can see, feel और touch. यानी एटम से जो है वो मॉलिक्यूल्स बनते हैं. जब बहुत सारे 2 या 2 से 3 या उससे ज़्यादा एटम जब मिलते हैं तो वो मॉलिक्यूल्स बनाते हैं या फिर आयंस बनाते हैं. और ये इस फॉर्म में हम इन्हें देख पाते हैं या उन्हें टच कर पाते हैं, फील कर पाते हैं. ओके, सो क्वेश्चंस देख लेते हैं. डिफाइन द एटॉमिक मास यूनिट. टू डिफाइन दिस यू कैन टेक फ्रॉम हेयर like this one. And also, why is it not possible to see an atom with naked eyes? Because the size of these atoms are very very small. So you can take this from here. You can mention these unit over in this answer. Okay, so about molecules we will start in the next class. Till then, if you have any query or doubt, just write it down in the comment box. I'll definitely get back to you.